Welcome back, YouTubers, to my YouTube studio here. My awesome Chinese little mid-sized SUV. Now, I want to follow on from my last story about getting sick in China with some of my first-hand experiences in the hospitals here and how they've changed over even the short 10 years I've been here, significantly. Now you've decided you're not feeling too good and you really need the hospital. You need to go and get some tests. Your hospital, that's where you got to go. Now, there's different hospitals here. You'll get some major hospital, which is the local area hospitals. They're very busy, lots of queues, and pretty much have the same system as what you would call an international hospital. Here in Qingdao, we're fortunate enough to have one hospital in downtown Qingdao area that is it's big. It's got everything from children's section, women and children's section, to general hospital. They do everything. The main Qingdao hospital. And luckily for me as a foreigner, they have an international clinic. I think it's the 5th floor or something. And on this floor, there's one small section where there's a group of doctors. They can all speak some English. So as a foreigner, that's where you go. Now, most major cities in China are going to have an international clinic of some description at their probably major hospital in the main city. You go to somewhere like Shanghai, Beijing, they'll have multiple, there's so many people, it's such a big place, they'll have multiple international clinics in different hospitals. You try to find one of these international clinics online, look up some of the local registries, it's not that difficult. The international clinic is essentially just an interface to the hospital. You're not actually going to have English-speaking people everywhere around you, so be prepared. If you can, take someone to help translate for you. If your Chinese is not good. The international clinics, they'll have several doctors in there, depending on who's on. Your charge will be could be anywhere between 80 to 150 RMB for your visit to see the doctor. And you have to pay before you go, before you can actually see the doctor. If you go downstairs to the normal hospital and don't need to go to the international clinic, it's only about 20 RMB. So 20 RMB as to 100, 150 RMB, quite a massive step up just for the international feeling, yeah. But then international feeling, it doesn't really go much further than that area, that little office. Once they decide you need to get some tests done, you might be lucky and they'll have some nurse from that area or assistant that can speak some English, and they'll guide you and they'll take you around the hospital to the different areas to get tested. Now, in the hospitals here, they don't have as such a general GP style visit before you go into the rest of the hospital. When you come in the hospital, you have to have some feeling as to what's your problem. Is it your eyes? Is it your back? Do you think it's your stomach? Do you think you've got gallstones? Do you think you've got, I don't know, kidney problems? You've got kidney stones. What is your problem? Do you think you've got heart problem? You need to have some feeling and half diagnose yourself If not, when you go to the check-in to pay for your basic entry, they'll ask you. The girl across the counter, sometimes a nurse, and they will get some idea, and they'll question you, and they'll advise you, maybe you need to go to this department, or you need this department. Because what they're doing is, in China, doctors don't have general practitioner. So they don't have a general doctor who learns the basics of everything to be there to screen you before sending you to a specialist. Yeah. So here, all the doctors are trained in the specialty. There are no general doctors here. So you get roughly diagnosed, generally sent in the general direction, and often you'll get sent to, let's say, you feel like you've got some problem in your kidneys. You'll get sent to a doctor who looks after kidneys and some of those type of issues. If you think you've got some problem in your ear or your nose, they'll send you to a ear, nose and throat doctor, which in like Australia would be, they're sending you to a specialist. But not in China. That's just the way it works. And quite often you can go into the actual specialist rooms where you go to see the specialist doctor, and you go in and there'll be 2 or 3 people lining up. Like, my wife was pregnant before the baby came. We had to go to 1 or 2 clinics that we thought we'll go there just for a check. Already half pregnant, bring her back from Australia, and then we're looking around. Went to a couple of different hospitals trying to find out where we're going to actually have the baby, and it's very interesting. We find very different to what I'm used to in Australia, I can tell you. We go into the specialist doctor's room, basically gynecologist, I think, and we're in there with 7 people. All these women trying to get on the chair to sit there to have a chat with the doctor about their situation, while the other 6 people, women, including a few husbands like me, hanging in the background, and everyone listens to everyone's problem. So we're all sitting there, we're all listening to each woman's situation, her diagnosis, her chat with the doctor. We sit there like a little chat group, all sit there and enjoy, she's got worse problem than us. That's pretty good. I feel better now. It's very interesting. Now, if I get back to that general hospital, one of the things you want to be prepared for, if they send you to one of those special doctors, they think, it sounds like it's your kidneys. They send you there, and then they do an ultrasound. If that doctor thinks, no, it's not your kidneys, it's got something to do with your stomach, then they will send you downstairs to go and register to see another doctor, which is essentially another specialist doctor that works on that part of your stomach and that part of your body. And then you'll be sent to another doctor and pay again to see the second doctor. And we've actually been there one time with my wife when she wasn't well, and she thought she knew what was wrong, and I had to follow her around everywhere carrying stuff. We went all over the hospital, and we saw 3 different doctors, because each doctor said, nah, I can't help you with this, you need to go to this doctor or this department. And the next one says, I can't help you with this, you need to go to this department. So there being no GP as such, general doctor to try to do the initial diagnosis that's got some general overview of all kinds of issues, some of these specialist doctors, they actually don't understand enough about some of these other general issues or some of the other specific problems. So you do run the trouble of going from one to the other until you find the one who really seems to know what's wrong with you. And then, like the pharmacies, you come to check out and they diagnose you. You'll get sent to the actual medicines department after the doctor's already prescribed what you should take. It goes through the system and you go downstairs, and with your chip of paper after you've paid, you can pick up your medicines at the counter. And every time they will give you both Western style medicine and some Chinese style medicine. And you walk away with a big bag of boxes of pills. There are some things in the hospital system here that drive the process, the behavior and the routine, which you should be aware of. You know, we have some friends of the family that are pretty deep and high in the medical system here in some other cities, and when you talk to them, you understand every doctor in hospital, he has his performance criteria. Basically, they are measured on how much money they make for the hospital. So keep that in your mind. Don't take it personal when they start trying to line you up and send you for a CT scan, an MRI, and every other test they can think of, and then give you tons of drugs. They will ultimately fix your problem because they do know what they're doing, but they have a system here, an incentive to clock up a few dollars for the hospital. As I understand it, the most influential doctors in the hospital who've been there many years have been some of the highest hitters in terms of being a profitable doctor for the hospital, and they get promoted pretty quickly. So, a bit like in a business, the sales manager that sells more, he'll get the promotion. And it's a bit like that with doctors here in these hospitals. But just keep that in your mind when you're going there. Be prepared. This is just for you expats and you travelers who are coming here. Be prepared. It's different. Very different. Different system, different environment, different country, different culture. So I hope you enjoy your travels here, and I hope you don't have to go to the hospital. Good luck. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Check out the next one. Subscribe as well. Catch you next time.